An update to a story we've talked about before.
The U.S. hands out very long prison sentences.
Mass incarceration happens with a cost.
It's the world's #1 incarcerator.
The budget for the Department of Corrections is exploding.
Why is it the United States leads the world when it comes to incarceration? Are we that different? Are we that evil?
It's morning in America, an America you rarely see, where nearly 2.5 million people are waking up behind bars. It's an America where half the states are working to reduce their prison populations. Arizona is not one of them.
The rubber really hits the road when you get to prison in Arizona. It's more than likely going to be a debilitating experience that you will not come out of prison a better person.
Arizona and Massachusetts are similar in both population and crime rate, yet Arizona spends twice as much money, locking up 4 times as many prisoners.
And we still have a border that is not under operational control, and we still have cartels that are able to engage in both human and drug smuggling into Arizona. In fact, we're creeping back up again to be the major point of smuggling into the United States for drugs along the southwest border.
But this can't be the whole story. New Mexico already has one of the country's lowest incarceration rates. Texas cut its prison population by 5,000, and California tripled that, releasing 15,000 inmates. Arizona, on the other hand, is planning to build more prisons and add more beds.
And the laws are structured in such a way in Arizona that the prosecutors have such power to determine what the sentence is going to be before it ever gets to a judge.
In Massachusetts, first-time offenders can be released after serving only 55% of their sentence. In Arizona, everyone serves at least 85% of sentences that are already longer.
The biggest problem I have with our mandatory sentencing laws is that they are mandatory, and the legislature cannot decide the individual cases. So they set policy, but the policy ought to allow for judges to use their discretion when circumstances require.
Let's take a look at the way 2 different states would punish the same criminal. Prison sentences in Massachusetts are generally shorter. Someone caught selling marijuana doesn't face a minimum sentence. The same crime in Arizona guarantees you 1 year in prison and could mean as many as 4. And it's not just drug crimes. Armed robbery in Massachusetts carries a minimum of 5 years in prison. In Arizona, it's 2 years longer. Arizona has longer sentences, but isn't any safer.
But in the Department of Corrections, the inmates are out of sight and therefore out of mind, and so the public doesn't generally think about it.
It's true. Most people don't think about the people in prison. But with over $1 billion being spent every year, maybe it is time for Arizona to take a second look.
There ain't no grave can hold my body down. There ain't no grave can hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. Ain't no grave can hold my body down.